Okay, doctors, welcome. My name is Dr. Scott again with Expert Condition Website Marketing. Today what I'm going to do is actually go over the 5 reasons why most, in fact, probably 99% of all chiropractic websites do not attract a ton of new patients. So basically what we do with my program is to develop yourself, or the doctor we work with, as the expert for the condition that he wants to treat. So whether it's migraines or fibro or whatever it is they have a solution for or a treatment for, we're going to develop their uniqueness, put it online, so that way when a person goes there, they're going to view that doctor as the expert for those conditions. Now when you do that and patients end up viewing you as an expert, they will have less resistance paying money out of pocket. They will follow your recommendations a lot more. It's a less salesy on your part. I mean, it's just a lot easier way to practice, frankly, when they do this. So, let me show you kind of what we do. Now, in my office, I probably average easily about a 25-to-1 return on my investment. So every dollar I spend, I get 25 back. That's an average. Now, that doesn't include like maintenance care patients or referrals and all that stuff. So our internet marketing does really, really well with the return on investment. Now, that can range, it can go up and down, but overall, we do really well with that. We average about 25 new patients every month from the internet. So we could probably see more than that, just depending on how much we want to market. But in my office, I like to stick around that range because for me, that's comfortable. I've seen as high as in the 40s of new patients per month, and we've seen as low as, like 5 to 10 or wherever it is a month. But on average, we see about 25 pretty consistently. Now, my first website was decompression. And I did that about 3.5 years ago. But my first website that I built that I actually put online through pay-per-click type stuff was fibromyalgia. And so my first 10 months we did with fibromyalgia, we did 72 new patients in the first 10 months. So that's, when we say new patient, that's a patient that comes in for initial exam, comes in for a consult to see if you can help them out. Now we collected, and I don't remember the figures directly, but I think around $72,000 from those 72 new patients over the first 10 months. Now that was from going from 0 to developing a list in 10 months. So we did pretty well, and really not knowing what we were doing. We didn't have very good follow-up strategies. We didn't have very many other strategies involved. Since then we've added quite a bit of stuff to the program. So let's go over why pretty much most chiropractic websites just don't work. If you look at how a person searches for something online, we'll go through that process here, but let's say somebody is searching for a solution to ADHD, right? So if a parent's looking online, they want to find somebody or some information how they can help their kid with ADHD. So they're going to type in the words ADHD. They're typically not going to type in the word chiropractor. They're not going to type in physical therapist. They're going to type in what they have. So the websites come up. What they'll do is they'll click on those websites. Now, if you think about it, look at most chiropractic websites, right? If you click on their website, it has like really nothing about ADHD. If they do, it's just a small little kind of blurb. But basically, they don't match what a prospective patient is searching for. So if I search for ADHD, I want to see something only about ADHD. So what we do is we develop programs based on that. We build websites based on the condition a prospect is searching for. That way you don't confuse them. And if you're at home right now, just click on Google, click on like migraines and chiropractors, and click on all their websites. And hardly any of them will have stuff about migraines. They'll have like 15 different conditions. They might not even mention migraines. They talk about chiropractic, but it doesn't really match what a person is searching for. So that's the first reason why most websites don't work. They don't match what the prospective patient is searching for. Now, if the next step that they don't have is that they are not able to capture a prospective patient's information effectively. This is probably one of the toughest things to do, because if you've got a good lead capture strategy, you can contact that person again and again and again, whether through email or through mailers, but you have a little bit of control when you can get their information. The best analogy I can use is We've all seen someone with a dog, right? And you open the back screen door and that dog just takes off. Now, you can call to that dog. You can say, hey, come back. There's really 4 options. He might not come back. He might come back right away. He might come back tomorrow. He might come back 2 days later. You never know what that dog's going to do. That's the same thing with a prospective patient. You've got to get their information right then and there so that way you can contact them and have some control over the process. Otherwise, you're just based on hope. And this is what most websites do. They don't get any information. Now, there's a little more other strategies with that, but we'll go into that when we do my program. The next thing most websites do is they do not create any action. They're really weak. And what I mean by that is, let's say someone comes to your website, they get excited. Let's say they leave their information. Great. But they still don't have any incentive to call your office. So you've got to create momentum triggers and different aspects of your marketing campaign so they get off their butt and they call you. This takes a decent website to an extraordinary website by the most kind of energy you can pump into them for them to call your office. That is something that took us a long time to kind of be good at. So if you can get them to call right away or go through a process you want them to, whether it's watch a video or read something or do this, you'll have better quality and more new patients in your office. And this is something most chiropractors don't do. The next part is follow-ups. Most doctors usually don't have any kind of follow-up strategies, even if they do the first 3 components we have, or if they do, they're really salesy. They're hard pitches. They're like, hey, come in now, and they try to prove that they're this great person, like, here's the difference between a medical doctor and a chiropractor, and they just kind of get a salesy type pitch. When you do that, you're going to ruin a relationship. You cannot do that. Once you get their information, you want to start to create a relationship so they feel good about coming in. So that's another thing we do is we develop emails and different strategies to develop a relationship. So when the patient comes in, they're not like feeling salesy. They're feeling like, hey, this guy really is here to help me. He's an honest person, and he really is just trying to help me, become pain-free or solve whatever condition they have. Then the last part is getting traffic to the website. This is the easiest part to do, frankly. There's different strategies based on different markets. Some do well with Google. Some do well with Facebook. Some do well with YouTube. Some do Yahoo, Bing. I mean, there's different techniques to get people to your websites. You can put your website up in your office. You can send out mailers. I mean, you can do a ton of things to get people to the website to capture their information. And that's really the easiest part. But most people focus on that. They think, I did Google, but it never worked. I did Yahoo, it never worked. I did Facebook, it didn't work. It's not those things that don't work. It's your website that doesn't work. Or the other marketing programs you have installed just do not generate people to call your office. That is the key to having a very successful online campaign. So, my expert condition websites, what we do when we first meet a doctor is develop what they do unique. And so if you have a treatment protocol for fibromyalgia, we'll sit and develop it based on what you do that's unique and develop a campaign off that, because it always works better having a website campaign built towards the doctor. That's why we don't use any canned spam websites. Most people don't use what I do. Most people don't do what I do to treat patients. Everybody does something different, and so you got to develop it based on what you do. So whether it's migraines or fibro, ADHD, neuropathy, carpal tunnel, whatever condition you want to be viewed as an expert for and have a treatment protocol for, obviously, we start to develop that for you.